Greetings, everyone. My name is Omni, which in the original Latin means all. Allow me to entertain you by sharing the truth about the lie. I promised our class that I would produce a new philosophy by graduation day. In keeping with my word, I have created a new philosophy pieced together from our ancient tongue. Un bellum et pacem sunum bonum et minimos omnia malignos. In war and peace, the greatest good is the least of all evils. The global pandemic has increased the intensity of our trials and tribulations to a degree that is extremely difficult to bear. But I hear there's a conclusively resolving vaccination that ends the mask mandate and it's free for all, which is really quite rare. This speech is actually a priceless lyrical poem, which is meant to be sung in a concert that is totally for free. But please pay me with your indivisible appreciative attention and remember, this is a request and not a decree. My arrival into the world was celebrated by scores of Vietnam War veterans, whom I'm told drank and ate crisis for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and karma for just desserts. Thus, I grew up obsessed with escaping reality by playing games and feasting on the extremely dramatic lives of evil villains and good heroes, their pleasures and hurts. The only remarkable event of my all too ordinary, average, and common life occurred just prior to my entrance into the liberties of life at a university. Alongside my fellow debt-enslaved employees, I witnessed the visitation of a UFO, which apocalyptically proved our world's truly dynamic diversity. Instead of being responsible and going to the classes that my parents paid for, it was the world of mind-altering substances that I began to explore. This led quickly to failing at my higher education, and my older brother making a devious suggestion. You could join the military and become a real bona fide hero, and then you'll stop being a loser, a failure, and a life-sucking zero. He smiled with mischievous glee. Be all you can be. You can finally be free. My parents thought it was a superbly imaginative solution, even though our nation's war might lead to my fatal execution. Only after I swore the oath of service did I learn a war was taking place, and that after my training, I'd be directly transported through time and space to a theater of operations wherein my inexperience could lead to shame, death, and disgrace. Follow your orders, complete our objectives, and achieve our goals. The mission always comes first. Improvise, adapt, and overcome adversity, and you'll survive, thrive, and prevail to quench our near insatiable thirst. Don't you dare disobey our commands, no matter how risky or senseless they may seem. Rewards and punishments are your reality now, and it's time to forget about your utopian dream. Our vision of America's divinely authorized manifest destiny is now the only game to be played and the only war that absolutely must be won. There are no excuses for failure or loss. It's kill or be killed, predators hunting prey. Our nation's imperialistic global dominion has already begun. Your tortured soul, your abused body, and your broken will don't mean a thing. You're just an insignificant name and number, like the bearer of the one true ring. But the cost of a patriot's ultimate sacrifice will make our hearts sing. To protect our nation's interest, you have to be convinced to believe our cause is just, and atrocious acts of savagery aren't just allowed, but definitely a must. Right up to the end of my tour of duty, I kept asking, why are we here when it seems to make no sense? Now that my time was done, the chain of command made no excuses or put up any unnecessary pretense. I'm told to shut up, fool, you're just a tool, and instruments don't need to know why they've been played. But I finally got down on my knees and gave up my identity and humbly obeyed. Here's your final paycheck. Now, be gone, get out, and find your own way. So much for honor and loyalty. I feel completely betrayed. I had no ideas about what to do or where to go next, and about my near future, I was extremely perplexed. The abyss of obliteration begins to sing a familiar song about its black hole of a void. You're in a death spiral, totally out of control, and let's not forget that you're unemployed. You're really sick in the head if you think you'll find a normal job now. You're back in the civilized world where shooting things will bring the wrong kind of wow. You've broken so many promises and hearts along the way that now there's no home or any safe places to stay. You have no friends and you've pushed away your family with your whack job talk. Why not just give up, kill yourself, and take that final lonely walk? I contemplate this song for what in reality is many years passing me by. I am a total loser, a failure, and I feel like I'm about to die. I used to humbly pray when I was in need, and it can't hurt, and it could help, so why not give it a try? Rain's falling on my head in the darkness as I beg. Please, can anyone hear me? I'm caught in a nightmare without an end. Please, someone save me and wake me up. The light of a serendipitous rainbow signifies good fortunes, showing me its favor, because just then a fellow veteran walks over to me and offers me his extra cup. Hey brother, have some of this. It'll make you feel really good. There's plenty of it, and best of all, it's completely free. It's a drink of clear and clean life-saving water, which makes me admit that this stranger is right, and I have to agree. I can hear a love song about atonement's redemptive power and reconciliation's healing resolution. The melody's meaning conveys the primacy of cause and effect that inevitably leads to every possible solution. I made mistakes, and I'm sorry that I chose to turn from doing right to do what's wrong. I humbly beg for forgiveness, which resurrects me and makes me feel lovely and strong. It's this soulful revelation that wakens me to my resting body, which has been sleeping in my room. There's no more time to lay in bed because my Wi-Fi is streaming and a voice is saying, zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, but wait, now that I'm awake, it may not be too late. I said that I'd have a new philosophy to share by this date. The law of cause and effect holds primacy overall, with one single exception. The rarest of our breed wields negative, neutral, and positive forces in a miraculous way that defies expectation. There are anomalies vibrating at the lowest statistical probability of our population and obtaining the most favorable outcomes through results visualized in the imagination. They possess the mega, hyper, super, ultra, apex abilities of appreciation, salvation, which is our worldview transformed from the me-centric to the we-centric perspective of restorative civilization. To obtain their ultimate end goal, nothing is forbidden, everything is permissible, and throughout history, this has always been the ruling elite's reputation. They allow themselves the liberty necessary to have their desires fulfilled without obligation or limitation. From birth to life to death, beginning, middle, and end, we reach the here and now, which was always our resolved final destination. I hope you look forward to the next iteration. And as a parting gift, I'll remind you that in war and peace, nobody who's smart ever plays fair. And in the game where dreamers are awake, every player who meets such a one ought to beware. To be continued.